It's that time of year. The regular season's over, and it's time to honor the top performers in Big 12 football in 2009. The Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year is Colt McCoy. You may have heard of him. McCoy led the conference in passing efficiency, throwing for over 3,300 yards and completing a remarkable 71% of his passes. He was also second on the team in rushing with 368 yards on the season. McCoy led Texas to an undefeated regular season and a spot in the Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game, with a possible trip to the BCS title game on the horizon. And for the second year in a row, Colt McCoy is on everybody's shortlist for the Heisman Trophy. The Defensive Player of the Year is Nebraska's Ndamukong Suh. Suh gave opposing offensive coordinators nightmares all season while consistently dominating the middle of the field. He led the Huskers in tackles while tallying 7.5 sacks and 13.5 tackles for loss. Not surprisingly, Suh also took home the Big 12 Defensive Lineman of the Year award. He's a surefire All-American candidate that has also been mentioned in the Heisman conversation. And the Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Year is Brandon Banks of Kansas State. No surprise here, Banks was electrifying as a return man for the Wildcats all year. He led the conference in all-purpose yards with over 2,000, which includes 1,100 yards on kick returns. He returned 4 kicks for touchdowns, which is tied for most in the nation. Banks averaged 28 yards on kick returns and 9 on punt returns. The top offensive freshman of 2009 was Texas A&M's Christine Michael, who was 6th in the Big 12 in rushing in his first year on campus. Michael scored 9 touchdowns on the ground and averaged over 5 yards a carry. He was part of an Aggies team that ranked 1st in the Big 12 in total offense. The Defensive Freshman of the Year is Missouri's Aldon Smith. Smith registered 11 sacks in 2009, which tied for 3rd most in the conference. He also ranks 2nd in the Big 12 in tackles for loss with 18.5. The Offensive Newcomer of the Year was a no-brainer. Daniel Thomas of Kansas State led the Big 12 in rushing as a junior with over 1,200 yards. He averaged 5 yards a carry and scored 11 rushing touchdowns, but was also a threat to throw. Thomas was 3 for 4 with a touchdown through the air. The Big 12 Defensive Newcomer of the Year is David Sims of Iowa State. Sims recorded 81 total tackles and 4 interceptions, which is 6th most in the conference. He also forced 3 fumbles on the year. The Offensive Lineman of the Year is Oklahoma State's Russell Okung. Playing the all-important left tackle position, Okung was a dominant force all season and helped make the Cowboys #1 in rushing offense in the Big 12. And the Coach of the Year goes to Mack Brown of Texas. Hard to argue that one. The Longhorns ran the table this season, going 12-0 with a berth in the Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game. As it stands, the Longhorns have a good shot to be playing in the BCS National Championship game in January.